Hello students of class 11, I am PK sir and today I am uploading the last part of the first chapter from the beginning of the times. Okay, so let's get started. See that the first point, modes of the communications, language and art. Actually, I have told you that several views on the language development are there. Like hominid language involve the hand movement. That means they were using the hand movements and in this way they communicated. And secondly, spoken language preceded by singing or humming. That means they have no ability to speak. So for that reason, actually they that kind of sounds was using for their communication. And probably human speech began with calls among primates. And Homo habilis, we have studied the skull of the Homo habilis, and we concluded that maybe it is possible to speak for them. That was the first homogene. It was around 2 Maya, that means 20 lakh years ago. Another suggestion also there that language development was going on side by side. Art development also happened. It was around 40 to 35,000 years ago because we have the evidences in the Spain. There is a cave Altamira. So there we have found the cave paintings, and when we studied this, it was around 35,000 years ago. And not only even in the Spain, in the southern France, also different caves, we have found hundreds of paintings of the animal species. Now the question is that why that kind of paintings they were drawing? What was their motive? So a few suggestions are there according to the archaeologists and anthropologists. They explain that suppose or maybe they celebrated that their successful hunting, so that's why uh, they could paint. Or maybe it was an important place of the meetings, so that's why that kind of painting was drawing by them or drawn by them. Or maybe they were communicating with each other through this painting. So several confusions are there, definitely, but we cannot conclude in one sentence. Understood? Then the next point, encounters with hunter-gatherers in Africa, the Hadza people. Actually, till now, several hunter-gatherer societies are living in the world, different parts of the world, like in Java, Andaman, Nicobar, Sentinel, islands, and definitely Africa. So, for the very first time in the year of 1870, one British traveler, actually, uh, tried to communicate with the people. It was known as the Kung San. Okay, and then after that, the slavery system started. We all know that, and they made them the slavers, all that, slaves, all that kind of things. Another one important hunter-gatherer societies, that is the Hadza people. Still, they are living in the Middle East African jungles area. So this Hadza is located in Middle East Africa, and it was rocky area and savanna or that kind of grasses lands, or you can find out, and plenty of wild animal species, and definitely animal species also are available. So it was their tradition, and it is their traditions to hunt the animals, and definitely for their survival process, they also taking the different vegetable foods like fruits, roots, berries, baobab. Fruits of the baobab trees are available season wise, and they always were setting their camps very near to the water resources. Season wise, they were changing their camps actually, and they never live on the ground actually. They set up their camp, above the in the baobab trees. It was very long tree. You can see in the pictures in the Googles. So Hadza people actually knew how to protect the environment because they were hunting the animals from thousand years till you cannot find out any kind of endangered species in that area. So that means they are much more educated on that particular matters. You can say, okay. I hope you understood. hunter-gatherer societies from present to the past. It is a theory, and two suggestions are there. Modern anthropologists and archaeologists believe that or try to find out or reconstruct the past about the hunter-gatherer societies. So they collected the information from the ethnic groups, like they had the peoples. So some archaeologists and anthropologists believe that if you are collecting the informations from the ethnic groups, present ethnic groups like Hadza people or Kumsan, definitely you can assume what kind of things were available in the ancient past time. What are doing today hunter-gatherer societies? So this is called the ethnographic data. Okay, when you are studying about the particular ethnic groups, their cultures, their everything's lifestyles, it is called the ethnography. So it was or it is the theory of one group of anthropologists. But some other anthropologists say that that this ethnographic data cannot be used for understanding the past societies. Definitely, because it was about the distance about the ancient past hunter-gatherer societies and present-day hunter-gatherer societies, almost 1 lakh year or 2 lakh year, gap you can find out. So their genes also had been developed. Even right now, the some kind of Hadza people also working in the industries. Okay, even you can find out in the Zarawa hunter-gatherer societies in the Andaman. They also are working in the different industries. So you cannot say perfectly that because these hunter-gatherer societies are following that kind of rituals or the traditions. That means in the ancient past time, their situation was looking like that. It is not true. But there is a view of the different anthropologists. Understood? So in this way, they try to reconstruct the past. Epilogue. That means how human evolution started from 3 crore 40 lakhs people, 40 lakhs years ago, and how it completed in the before 4,000 or 5,000 years ago. For several million years, human lived by hunting the wild animals, as you all know that, and gathering the different kind of fruits and vegetables. And then about 12,000 years ago, atmosphere was changing, so that's why different kind of grasses, grasslands, and animal species and plant species you can find out after the ice age completed. Okay, so they started to cultivate or they started the farming because they learned. Okay, so and even they stop the hunting because they herding the animals, so their demands of the meats and flesh were competing by the herding of the animals. Even they use the milk products. Okay, and with the introduction of the agriculture, many people began to stay in one place, because before that they were moving from one place to another place, right, for the hunting and gathering. But when agriculture introduced, they were staying in one place even longer period. Even they made their permanent houses, and the concept of the hut or the village was began to start. When farming and pastoralism started or led to the introduction of many other changes, like the making of pots for storing of the grains and other produce, and definitely to cook the food. Besides new kind of stone tools you can find out in the Neolithic age. Okay, it was so sharp and it was so perfect, and gradually day by day their lifestyle been increasing. And finally you can find out in the Harappan civilization, the perfect civilization which was started in the 6000 or 7000 BCE. It is the perfect example of the modern Homo sapiens. Understood? And gradually people became familiar with metals such as copper and the tin. Initial people. Then the wheel, introduction of the wheel. You know, uh, it was the first revolution for the humankind, you can say. And while using the wheels, it was using for the pod makings and transportation system. So in this way, bullock carts and chariots also introduced. And 5,000 years ago, in even larger concentration of the people began to live together in the cities, and they formed the cities. Before that, they were living in the villages. Concept of the heart was started. After day by day, year by year, they were developing themselves and making the cities. And the result is the Harappan civilization. Understood? This chapter, and I hope you understood. If you have any queries or any questions, definitely you may WhatsApp me. and before the examination, if we met examination, definitely we do revise these lessons. Okay. Okay, so thank you very much.